What did we title this?
It's gonna be a cold winter.
Okay.
We live. Nah. Yep. I'm gonna wait for that one. On the left.
Yep. Got slide.
Is it live?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we do.
Shalom, shalom.
Hey,
Shalom.
First and foremost, we love to give our glory, honor, and praises unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
And of course, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well within this ministry and taught us the Samach, which is the truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect, the hopeful elect men that preach this truth out the four corners of the globe, risking their lives for freedom to do so. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
And Lord, willing this be an edifying live stream, man. It's entitled, "It's going to be a cold winter." All right, and as things is heating up, according to prophecy's sake, the Lord is putting His spirit on this devil Esau Edom to come down with great wrath. You know, and Donald J. Trump is the face of it. You know, what is he doing? He's sending these National Guard troops to these inner city towns where Jake dwells at, Chicago. They're talking about how they tying up children naked, you know, and how and I guess they out there cold and doing different, you know, stuff that's really not being talked about in the mainstream media. You know, not only that, he's cutting the different government assistance. The SNAP benefits, food stamps will be shut off next month. Okay, so this is cold. This is the cold shoulder. Esau is giving the people the cold shoulder now, and in reality, it's the Lord doing it through this devil. So yeah, it's gonna be a cold winter, man. And while all of this is going on, the temperature is gonna drop. You know, so brothers was talking about it off camera earlier. You know, people, it's gonna be harder for you to pay your bills, harder for you to pay utility. You know, it's gonna be harder for you to bring food within the house. A lot of people's heat gonna be shut off. I remember last winter, it was so many cases of people dying from just being outside. Homelessness, people homeless living outside, people freezing to death, animals freezing to death, dogs being found frozen to death, man. So this is going to be definitely a cold winter.
And we know that you know how Esau can mess with the weather. You know what I'm saying? The clouds make it rain, especially, right. You know what I'm saying, in the wintertime when it's freezing ice and things like that. So this is how Esau gets down, man, that left-handed witchcraft, man. That's you right. Know, this is the sword of the Lord, man. You know? When it brings out this Matthew. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 20. It says, "But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day." Right,
and this was regarding the time of 63 or roughly 66 to 70 AD, 73 AD, are those Israelites who were living in Rome, you know, or Jerusalem. So like those Israelites that was ruling in Jerusalem during the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire, because what would happen was they would be besieged, and through a besieged, you have a lot of atrocities that happens when a nation is being taken over. All right, they get starved out. You know, the food and the resources, they don't come in the city no more. You know, not only that, but food becomes weaponized. So if it is any food coming in, it's 9 times out of 10 it's either spoiled or poisoned. You know, all different war tactics was being done to our people to basically destroy us, man. So that's what Yahushua was saying, like, pray not your flight be in the winter on the Sabbath day, because it's gonna make you hard. It's gonna make it harder for you during that time of persecution, you know. And then especially you having families, you know. But now the Lord is gonna take care of us during the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, brothers who do have families, children, wives, and things of that nature, households that they have to tend to and protect and be responsible for. The Lord is going to actually protect them, you know, brothers in that situation. But everybody else, 2/3, other nations, you know, they're going to be taken by the different things that the Lord is going to put the spirit on this devil to do, which is basically like warfare against the people.
Can you get that word winter in the Lula?
Yep, it says G5494 Kaimon, winter, stormy or rainy weather, a tempest. Winter, the winter season.
If I could say, because you know that word tempest, you know, goes into that strong wind. You know what I mean? And Yahushua told us about those that are found on that strong foundation. The rains blew and the tempest, that strong wind, and the house didn't fall. You know what I'm saying? And this world isn't rooted in the philosophies of Yahweh Shem Shai. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, this whole place is gonna fall. But it's going to be a dark winter. It's not only for the elect, you know what I'm saying, but also for the rest of the world. But the elect have hope for the wise, you know.
Exactly. You know, the Lord is really showing that He has enmity with the world. Okay, and as He's showing that and displaying that, the judgments is going to show that us being, you know, men of the Lord, we have to, Lord willing, we have to depart. The Lord is showing us that we're going to have to depend on the Lord more instead of depending on, the system, you know. And what I mean by that is like going to your different grocery stores, you know, being able to have a house, being able to have a car, being able to have a job, these different things that basically the Lord nourished us in our captivity, you know, through this devil and certain things, so we could be able to do certain things like prophesy, you know, and prophecies could be fulfilled. But now all these things being taken away, we're going to have to solely depend on the Lord for to be fed, for to be clothed, you know, for to be sheltered, and so forth and so on. So just like you were saying, Ms. Shaw, making Yahweh Shah that sole foundation, you will never fail.
He gonna preach that.
Come on.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall
the remnant of Israel. So the elect, they will be the ones to basically depart from the ways that is destroying us. Because the one who's smoting us is Esau. He's the ruler. He's the one that's actually ruling over the people to sustain to actually govern the people. He's the one that's actually governing the people, man. All right, so he's smoting us because he's ruling unrighteously. And then what is he doing? He's taking away the bread from the needy, which is the bloodshed. The scriptures talk about that, man. And now what is he doing it? To roll out a new system, to roll out his MOTB. Ultimately, we know that. So if you want your food stamps back, you want your SNAP back, you want your government assistance back, you're going to have to take the MOTB.
Right. Because when you read Revelation 13 and 16, it say he calls it all. In order to call something, you got to set shit up.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And what Esau is doing is he's setting up hella stumbling blocks. So our people, man, because he's going to roll out this UBI, because ain't going to be no more work for Egypt like the scriptures say. And with that UBI, guess what? Well, it tell you how this is gonna be regulated, bro. Look how SNAP is about to be regulated. UBI gonna be 10 times worse than that. You can't buy this because you done had this too much today, or this week, or this month. It even said in a B system, bro, you only gonna have 3 outfits, bro. So it's like it's gonna get that bad. Like it's gonna be strict. It's draconian laws, man. Like, this devil's not about to fucking play around with you people, man.
What?
3 outfits, bro. 3 outfits, bro, for life, bro.
Hey.
So I'm gonna define it, bro.
I just like to just add, if any brothers ever seen that movie, 1984.
Yeah.
In that movie, they had 1 outfit, okay, and they were under a police state. Even to the point, it was a scene in the movie where this Edomite, you know, he was dealing with this woman, and that was going on. And then New Kingdom come, because they was trying to control population of babies being born. So you had to go sneak if you wanted, you know, go deal with a woman or whatever. And they, you know, getting it in or whatever. Then you come to the thought police pull up with a helicopter, you know what I'm saying, shining a light, and they gonna get persecuted for this, you know what I'm saying, for busting a nut, bro. That's what we're going to, bro. Real talk. That movie was made for our learning, just like the scriptures say. And a lot of people they didn't take heed to that. I remember seeing that movie, bro, when I was a shorty. I was like, damn. You know, I didn't think it was gonna really happen, but when I started learning these scriptures, that's one of the first movies I thought about, bro. Real talk. And brothers, if you haven't seen that movie, check it out. It's a real eye opener. Esau was letting you know what he was bringing to America. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Finishing off, It says, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them.
Right, you're gonna escape by the truth, man. Yahweh Shah gotta wake you up, man. Alright, and if you ain't got the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, you gonna depend on the so-called white man. Alright? The scriptures say in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, we're just gonna go to the one to our enemy for the one of all things, man. You know, but we not. You know, Lord willing, we those men. Because we waiting on the Lord to do miracles, man.
Got it.
You got examples in the scriptures where the Lord took care of prophets, man. You know, Elijah with the raven. He had Habakkuk. He brought Habakkuk. He forced Habakkuk to take Daniel some food in the lion's den.
Mm-hmm.
So you got plenty of examples of the Lord doing miracles in the times of great dearth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It was a dearth on the scene in the book of Acts. What did the body do? Okay, they put all their possessions in one. They brought all their possessions and dispersed it amongst the body, man. That's the time we coming into, bro.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, you people gonna hold on tight to your possessions,
Yes,
bro.
yeah.
Because that's all you know. It was a couple years ago. This older Jake was getting evicted out of his house in Philly, I believe. And he paid his house off. I guess he didn't pay the taxes or some shit. And they tried to move from the house. He said you got to move and all this shit. Man, he went out with a bang. You see what I'm saying? That's how people gonna do in order to keep their possessions, man. You know, they 401k, all type of shit, bro. Like these people gonna fucking lose it when they ain't got nothing else to lose, bro.
Because you figure, people is so heavily invested in Babylon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People been working hard, bro, all their life just to get a house. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as Esau take it away with with the stamp of a finger, Jake lose their mind, man. You know what I'm saying? And even the Edomites, the ones that thought they was well off, is gonna start to feel that too. You know?
Now.
Yep.
Them niggas gonna say, all's my life I has to fight.
You know what this
Hey, that nigga Claude Schwab, he said you will own nothing and be happy.
Yep.
That's one of the mottos of the New World Order, is that they don't want anybody to have any ownership. Okay, all ownership will be owned by the state or by the government. Okay, and they've been using gradualisms and progressive steps to get to that point. You got these woke people, they'll even talk about how you don't own your own children.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have all these, because you have these adhesion contracts, okay? Which is basically, somebody asked ChatGPT what is an adhesion contract? Because it's a heavy definition, because it's basically an offer you can't refuse. You know what I'm saying? Which it begins with your birth certificate, your driver's license, your social security. When you're born, they get your baby's footprint, they get the baby's handprint. Like when we had my youngest son, he was a home birth, and they kept pressing us to bring him to the hospital so they could get his handprint and his footprint. They never got it. You know what I'm saying? Because they want all that information. That all goes into biometrics. Yeah, biometric database. You know what I'm saying? For their artificial intelligence and for their New World Order, man. All these things have a purpose, What do they say?
It says an adhesion contract, also called a take it or leave it contract.
A take it or leave it contract. Go ahead.
Yep. That's slavery, bro.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, you can get your money 30 years.
I got that.
Okay.
You already destitute. You see what I'm saying? So like, I gotta do this, bro. Right. You see what I'm saying? I can't go to work without my license. Damn. I gotta go get this shit. You see what I'm saying? Like this society is fucking madness, bro.
Right, you got some people who had a home birth and they don't have a social security number. But when they get grown, they need a job. In order to get a job, you have to have a social security number to apply and get paid, right? So therefore, eventually down the line, you're going to have to get to the system. The system you're going to have to identify yourself in the system, man. All right, in order to, live. There's no escaping this shit, man.
It's the same way with that chip. You got that.
An adhesion contract is a type of agreement where one party, usually the one with more power
That's the government.
or resources, like a business, lender, or insurance company, sets all the terms and the other party has little or no ability to negotiate.
Right. So, you know, it's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, you try to have a child and get around the birth certificate or the social security number, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm like with these niggas, they be driving around, they get pulled over. I'm a Moorish American, and they, I ain't rolling down the window. I don't have a driver's license. I'm traveling to do commerce and all this goofy shit. Look, man. You cannot get around this, man, because it's a yoke. Read that Jeremiah 30. It's a part of your slavery. Okay? Yeah, and this, because reason being I'm going to this real quick is because Esau is tightening that squeeze, okay? That's what all of these different forms of legislation being altered, these different assistance being taken away, because they're tightening the squeeze. The apostle was just going into it in this most recent camp video, how they're trying to federalize everything. So it's like they're taking away the rights of the states, and they're making everything more federal with the new ID, the real ID, which is a federal ID that you're required to have if you want to get on planes and stuff like that. And eventually, they want everybody to have it. So no more United States, just one state, one city, Babylon the Great.
That great city.
That great city, you know. Read Jeremiah 30 real quick.
This is book of Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 8. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I will burst thy bonds. And strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
So the yoke is really, like you said, you're going into it right now. It's a paper yoke, you know, based upon these different adhesion contracts, you know, that Jake is bound to. That is another yoke, you know, that Jake is bound to in this man's society, you know.
I got this up, this is the book of Proverbs chapter 24, verse 21. My son, fear the Lord, Yahweh, and the king, Yahweh Shah, right? Because the Lord don't want you to take this chip, you know what I'm saying? The Lord don't want you to take the sea hip, you know, and it says, and meddle not with him that is given to change. Esau, first he had the yokes of iron on Jake, and then he went, and now you gotta have a social security number, birth certificate, and now it's about to be the sea hip, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be bound to the sea hip. So he always check, like the brother you just mentioned, how he keep changing these laws, you know what I'm saying? Everything is, you know, changing for him, gradually for him to put Jake in a position to be in a form of servitude, in the form of cattle to the sea hip, through the sea hip, man.
Yeah, because if you don't got no snap, then you don't got no wick, and you ain't got no, what's the other one? Snap, wick, EBT, Section 8, all of these is Democratic. You know, HEAP, which is heating, something with the heating in the wintertime, heating and energy assistance program. These are all Democratic things, and Donald Trump already said we're gonna cut these Democratic programs, and he don't plan on bringing them back. Okay, and so our people, they don't know how to. They do, but they don't, because they've been spoiled here in the society. They're like homeborn slaves. So now, when everything is taken away, their reaction is to crash out. Like, you know, like the term goes, crash out. That's why you see all these videos niggas talking about, well, I'm gonna rob, I'm gonna do this. I'm thinking, nigga, are you stupid? Well, you think you're not gonna go to jail? You know, if your goal is to get free food, you can just go to jail. That's they plan for you, man. You know, because they already got the police set up, especially in the suburbs. You know, like we was talking before the camera came on, and really, it's more of a when we talk about the winter, it's gonna be a cold winter. I'm more so thinking of the spirits of the people. People are gonna be very cold to each other. Yeah, get that real quick. That's what I mean by it's gonna be a cold winter, man. Everybody's gonna be out. It's gonna be a dog eat dog world, as they say.
This is Matthew 24 and verse 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Right. So one thing that correlates with how times is deteriorating, how the prosperity of people is deteriorating, society is getting worse and worse. Sin is increasing, you know, more and more. Niggas is getting more and more wicked, more and more Moism, more and more adultery, more and more violence, more and more idolatry. You know, but the people can't make the correlation between wickedness and the depletion of society, the end coming. You know, and when you go to that word cold in the Greek, it's psycho, which basically means like going in the cycle. But it says to wax cold, to be, matter of fact, read the definition real quick and agree of it. People gonna be cold-hearted. You know, somebody can look up that phrase. What does it mean to be cold-hearted? That's how, because Donald Trump is cold-hearted. It says as the ruler of the people, so all his officers. So it starts from the top. That spirit is gonna trickle down to everybody. You got the cruel Lord, and people gonna be cruel to each other. Niggas, that's why the scripture say, get 2 Ezra 6 and 24. Friends gonna fight one against the other like enemies.
Right here.
God, that's a cruel thing, man. But why is all this gonna happen? We know, see, this is why we sounding the alarm very loud right now, because Donald Trump is fucking with the food. And we know, pursuant to the scriptures, that when this devil fuck with the food, that's what's gonna make the people crash out. That's what's gonna really bring upon the end. You gotta go.
Yeah, the word psycho, it says to breathe, blow, cool by blowing, to be made or grow cold, cool or cold.
To be made or to grow cold. So people is like on some, yeah, she started with this and then now we doing this. And so it's like an escalation. It's like escalations of war, because these are war tactics that he's doing. He's besieging you, okay? He's not allowing anything to come in, and he taking you out. He deporting niggas too, you know?
Because if I could add to you, love brings like a warming feeling. You know, that's what people in the world kind of equate it to. That's why you got words like heartwarming, you know, and different type of affectionate actions and affectionate feelings. It brings warmth, you know. It brings, you know, a heat and desire, those type of things. But when you showing the opposite, you know, it's just like the cold. You know, even like the term cold shoulder.
Right.
It's on folly. I guess it was the term cold shoulder basically come from some shit in the 1900s where basically if you was invited to a certain event and you basically everybody didn't like you, it would be known because you would get a cold piece of meat. They would give you a cold piece of meat. You know, when everybody get their food, you would get the cold piece of meat. And usually that cold piece of meat was the shoulder. So then it became a term down the line in the world called giving a cold shoulder. You know, if you basically didn't show nobody love or you neglected them. So that's, you know, basically what's being shown, the iniquity increasing.
I got that definition for cold-hearted. It says lacking affection or warmth, to the brother's point, unfeeling. It says unsympathetic.
Unsympathetic. So nobody gonna have no sympathy. They tell you that in Jeremiah, what was that, 5 and 15, who shall bemoan thee, O Jerusalem? Nobody's having sympathy on you so-called niggas, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Nobody's coming to your rescue, man. Okay? Go ahead.
It says unemotional, unkind, uncharitable, insensitive, unfriendly, detached.
Right. Yeah. So they're completely, society already completely desensitized to you niggas dying. It's everywhere. It's CCTV. You see niggas shooting each other. Videos, rap, music. They talk about killing each other. Nobody gives a fuck about your life. That's why you had this movement that these Edomites made to capitalize on and make money off of you, called Black Lives Matter. Because it's known that nobody cares about Black lives, because you so-called black niggas, you don't even care about your life. Right?
Exactly.
So now what's about to happen is you're gonna be pretty much slaughtered, man, in front of the world. Okay? That's what the Lord is about to do, man. Okay? It's gonna start with the food. It's gonna be a systematic slaughter. Second Ezra, yeah.
Can you finish that definition?
Oh, yeah.
real quick?
Yep. The last definition for cycle, it says metaphorically of waning love.
Yeah, waning love, man. So the love is, there ain't no more love, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. I was thinking of a song, but it escaped. You got it.
This is
Ain't no love with the heart.
Yeah, that's it. Ain't no love. Took it right out of my mind. That's why I couldn't even think of it. Yeah.
Because he had it.
Ain't no love in it. That's why I say, you know, people gonna flee to the country, but they gonna die in the country on the shore.
Yeah, Ezekiel, the Lord told Ezekiel that
Yeah.
during the Babylonian captivity, those who try to flee to the wilderness gonna die by the beast, and those who stay in the city gonna die by the sword. Or those who try to leave outside the city gonna die by famine. So you're not gonna be able to escape the judgment.
No, and if you can navigate through all of that, guess what? The ministry's coming.
Yep.
Damn.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 23. It says, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid." You know, and this is ultimately you know, the trumpet that's being given right now. Okay, the trumpet of war is coming. All right, not only a physical war but also a mental war that Esau's gonna try to take advantage of. Man, you keeping your guard down, man, and not preparing yourself. You know, verse 24.
So if I could add too, because you got certain even on the physical note too, you got certain like emergency horns in certain cities where if you have if an emergency, a state of emergency is going on, those horns will sound. Or if a natural disaster is going on, those horns will sound. You know, and a lot of that is going to be going on. You see that in these movies, like you was talking about movies earlier, certain movies, where any type of instance is going, any type of event or apocalypse is going on. It's always some type of sirens or horn going on. You know, so you're gonna hear a lot of that going on too.
Yep.
And the news is a form of trumpet too, and they'll probably announce on the news like they said we don't got no more food, so whatever you have, you need to
Preserve it.
Yeah, preserve it and use it wisely. You know what I'm saying? Those type of announcements is gonna be made by government officials, and you people ain't gonna know what to do, man.
Yep.
You got it though.
And because at that time, everything gonna be shut down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is why preparation is important, man.
Right.
You know, fasting. You know, and Jake don't even fast, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they stomachs is gonna disagree with them quickly, man. You know.
And that's a terrible
Yeah.
feeling.
Yep.
When you've been smoking weed every motherfucking day, you've been eating like a goddamn pig every motherfucking day, you've been satisfying your Lord every day, you never took a day off. Now the Lord gonna make you take the day off forever, and your ass is gonna suffer. You're gonna feel pain and suffering. Call the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah to all you niggas that turn and reject Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. You gonna pay now. You feel me?
Yeah, them withdrawal symptoms gonna be on another level.
Yeah. Yo.
You gotta go cold turkey.
A forceful cold turkey, Jay can't handle that.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 24. It says, "At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein."
Because that's cruel. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you imagine one of your best friends growing up and he's beating your ass like he don't know you from a can of paint. You know, he's choking you out to death. You're going to look at him like, well, you know, this is cruel. What's happening right now?
Right, you can't come to an agreement. Y'all can't split the last can of beans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Last baby wipe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anything, man. Everything, because I keep bringing it up. The scene in the book of Eli, the woman, she asked him, what was the old world like? And he said people had too much of everything. He said we took everything for granted. He said people threw away things that we kill for now. You see what I'm saying? So the things that you throwing away now, people gonna kill for it in the days to come, man.
Yeah, because America, I did a study on that probably a couple years ago. North America to be exact, they waste billions of tons of food yearly, bro, more than the European nations combined, bro. Damn. So now the Lord's about to remove that staff, bro. He's about to remove that bread from this society.
Yeah.
I like to go to that verse that you made reference to earlier. This is Ezekiel chapter 6 and verse 12. It says, "He that is far off shall die of the pestilence, and he that is near shall fall by the sword, and he that remaineth and is sieged shall die by the famine. Thus will I accomplish my fury upon them."
Right, it ain't gonna be you ain't gonna be no escape. Like the brother had mentioned, the last plague that'll be of that is the missiles. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is gonna be stacking up plagues on top of plagues on top of plagues, and He's using Donald Trump and all of these, you know what I'm saying, other Edomites to establish that on earth, man.
Well, it says that in Amos 5, you know, about
Is it the man?
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I got it right now. Yeah, I'm on it right now.
That's crazy. You finish this out?
Yeah, finish that out.
Yeah, kinda.
Y'all can go to the next.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 24. It says, "At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run." You know, and that you know that's just going into everything being basically standing still. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing not
The economy not moving.
everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There ain't gonna be no running water either.
Right, exactly.
Electricity. You
You're
know
not
what I'm
gonna be
saying?
able to wash your ass, man.
Right.
Damn.
You know, imagine you gotta actually, and then that's gonna be another thing too. You actually trying to find a little pond, a little river, a little body of water to get a little sip or, you know, get a little splash of water. That's gonna be, the Lord talk about, Lord gonna dry up the, you know how the Lord is gonna dry up bodies of water, man, the springs,
Well,
man.
that happened during the time of Elijah. It was famine for 3.5 years, and the brook dried up. Why you think the brook dried up? Because people was taking water out of the brook and drinking it, man.
Right.
But the Lord sustained us. To get that too, real quick, because the Lord gonna sustain us like He sustained Elijah. The ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning and in the evening, man. That's 2 Kings 17. It was something that y'all said. Oh, because every winter, you have these major storms, and you have these extreme freezing temperatures, and if your pipes freeze, then your water doesn't run, and then also sometimes even the electricity will go out for like a whole neighborhood. It happened last year a couple times, and you won't have heat. You know what I'm saying? Your heat will go out. You won't even have heat. You won't have electricity. You sitting there in the dark. You know, you had to use, if you got a gas stove, you could use the stove to heat the house, but that only do but so much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is all of these things could happen at once. You know,
They will happen now.
it will happen at once because the Lord wants this chaos. The devil wants chaos, but the Lord wants the chaos. See, because the Lord is a man of war. Okay.
And people already, you already be having like family members that be jealous of each other and stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Family member might get jealous over a chick that the brother wanted, but this brother wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what more like when it's gonna be a famine? You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all gonna be fighting. You know what I'm saying? Lord gonna put that spirit of that spirit of division is gonna be even more increased.
Hey, well, a man's foe is gonna be there of his own household. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be, you know, friends fight against friends. You know, brothers against sisters, all type of stuff, man.
Yeah,
You know?
that's traumatic experience too.
Well, Jake always talking about they got haters and shit. Like more than the heathen, Jake always talk about how they got these secret haters, people that show fake love to them and this and that. The Lord's gonna manifest all of that. He said He gonna choose your delusion, man.
Yeah.
But y'all got
You know that 2 Kings 17.
First get that Amos 5.
Kind.
Amos chapter 5, verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion.
Start over.
18 say.
Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Right, because that's you Christians out there, you idolaters out there who believe in white Jesus, shit, that believe in the name Jesus, black Jesus. Ain't no black Jesus, man.
Right.
Okay, His name is Yahweh Shai, man. All right.
Jesus.
So if you desire the day of the Lord, but you don't know Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, then woe unto you, man. Okay, because you desire a day that you don't know nothing about, man, and it's not gonna be good for you.
Jake think Jesus got dreads. I mean, Jake think Yahweh got dreads.
Yeah. Y'all was trying. That's on.
Yeah, you're right.
The Black Messiah.
No, hey, that's that Yah Jesus.
Yeah, man. You know what, man? The y'all Israelites gonna suffer harshly.
Yeah, man.
See, y'all Israelites, you gonna pay because you distort the name. See, you got women coming on the comment board teaching telling everybody you're gonna be saved out of Jacob's trouble, just like the brother just said. You don't know what Jacob's trouble is really about. Jacob's trouble is everybody's got to go through Jacob's trouble. Only the elect gonna be saved out of Jacob's trouble. But that's that pride, man. You exclude the Savior and you act like y'all Israelites. You just act like you got it all figured out. But you can clearly see the writings on the wall, man. Destruction is coming. And you're gonna pay for it. For every word, every idle word, all your thoughts, all your shenanigans, all that shit's gonna get brought to naught, man. And I can't wait.
You know y'all Israelites prophets, man.
Right.
You know, and I ain't never seen a y'all Israelite on the highways and byways a day in my life, man. So
God.
y'all a joke, man.
Yeah, me neither, bro.
We know, cause they ain't out there. Go.
They say the day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
That we talking about the darkness. Why y'all always talking about bad shit? Cause the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. It ain't gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a bad day. And the things that lead up to the day of the Lord is gonna be bad times, evil.
Right, and ultimately, the good could not come unless this happens.
That's right.
Unless this bad happen. You know what I'm saying? In order to get the kingdom, we just gotta go through this bad shit. You know, where the earth is going to reach its most wickedest peak, man.
Hey, because it say that the devil's gonna come down with great wrath because they have but a short time.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that wrath is that cold winter, man. You know, you got that.
Amos chapter 5 verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him.
Because there's gonna be people that's gonna be reserved for judgment to the last stages of Jacob's trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? All the way up to the missiles. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord gonna allow them to duck and dodge each situation barely. You know what I'm saying? And then they go like, damn, I'm good.
One thing after another.
Yeah.
And they gonna think they're good, like you said. You know, that remind me of the movie Apocalypto.
That's his spirit.
Because the Lord was with him,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Until the end,
To the end,
the Lord
yeah,
delivered him,
yeah.
bro, because he went through so much shit and so many different times he could have died. But I was like, it was an angel protecting him, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it's going to be for the elect.
Yep.
You know? You might get taken captive. He got taken captive by the enemy. He was right about to get sacrificed
Right, I was
on
about to
top
say.
of the motherfucking pinnacle.
Con.
And somehow the Lord delivered him.
And delivered his wife and his teeth.
Yep.
See?
It's
Imagine the anxiety though that comes with that.
Right.
You know, you escaping this situation just to run into this.
Yep.
You escaping that situation, which was worse than the last,
Right.
just to get judged in that one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the Lord has a sense of humor. And the scriptures talk about how he's going to laugh at their calamity, man.
Yep.
Through the prophets, the Lord is going to laugh at the calamity of his own people because they laughed at the prophets in our calamity, man.
I got
Is that it on that?
Yeah, that was it.
Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And you can see it's prideful to come on YouTube and say what you gonna do when your SNAP benefits don't wore out. You're not gonna do shit but get your ass whooped. That's it. That's all that's gonna happen. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna get beat down, and you're gonna be a poster child for what not to do when your SNAP benefits wear out.
They ain't gonna try to GoFundMe and shit.
Right.
Everybody got the money to fund you.
Right. Because there will be nothing to, man.
Like I said, this devil is not obligated to feed you niggas.
Right.
You need to get that shit out of your mind, man. That's the problem. Get Isaiah 30 real quick. Are they trusting Egypt? That's your problem, man. You think this? You really think that he's obligated to feed you because you can't make enough money to feed yourself, man? That's not the real world. That's not reality, dude.
Yeah, that's that great pride. Scriptures talk about how before destruction cometh pride. Y'all walk around with y'all nose up. Y'all walk around, y'all think y'all the shit. We ain't all seen the videos. I seen the video of a homeless dude. They gave him a couple of dollars and some quarters. He took the quarters and threw that shit back and said, "That's all you got." The nerve of a nigga, bro.
That's what they do.
Yeah, and then they'll look at you like you wrong because they took the money back and they said, "Nigga, you needed this 2,050 cents." And you even today, a nigga have 10,000 followers on Instagram, but live in the basement. And he'll shit on you Nigga, you ain't nobody care about you. I got 10,000 followers. The pride of a nigga that don't got nothing. Where is this pride? That's why I got you destroyed. You don't even have nothing to be prideful of. Yet you still feel you got the nerve to shit on everybody. The complete opposite of being humble.
Well, that's what the scripture say. Why is earth and ashes proud?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're in a lower stage, in a low condition for a reason. You know, but Jake don't understand that. You know, but Jake always try to make the best out of any situation, bro. You know what I mean?
I got the best sackcloth, nigga. It's still sackcloth.
Was you done on that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Read this one first, I shall then the other one.
I did 30.
Yeah, come
Con.
I'm gonna start up. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 7. It's for yourselves know how you ought to follow us. For we have behaved.
Us talking about the teachers, the men of the Lord, man. You supposed to follow our lead, not this devil in the system. Go ahead, though.
It says, for we have behaved not ourselves disorderly among you. Neither did we eat any man's bread for naught, but wrought with labor and travail night and day, that we might not be chargeable to any of you. Not because we have not power, but to make ourselves an ensample unto you to follow us. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat.
Right, so the Lord said, if a man don't work, he ain't supposed to eat, man. You know, you supposed to get up there and get a job, man. All right, that you Israelites, you become degenerates, man. You know, and it was through crafty counsel. You know, we're not taking nothing away from what the devil did, but at the same time, accountability is something that the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American community don't got. Okay. He not obligated to feed you, man, and so he about to show you that he not obligated to feed you niggas, man. You know,
you got fake homeless people too.
Right.
You got people who act like they're homeless
right?
and then go home to their house.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Got a
saying?
whole car,
Mhm.
but they'll walk to the freeway overpass
Right.
and beg for money all day and make $21 an hour.
Yeah, I did the research on that. They said a lot of these panhandlers they make like $17,000, $18,000 a year. You know what I mean?
Untaxed,
Untaxed, yeah,
untaxed,
exactly.
cash
That's
money
what I'm
under the table. You know what I'm saying? So hey, look, we don't give a damn, because the Lord got to do it, man. Read Isaiah 30.
This is Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh Shemel Shai, that take counsel, but not of me."
This is our people's problem, because whenever anything major happens, they run to the government, they run to the news, they run to the pastor, they run to the economy, whoever, man. But they don't run to us though. They don't run to the Lord's prophets, okay, to say, what should I do to get myself out of this situation? I hear the president is going to do this, this, and this. How is this going to affect us? How does this play into the prophecies of the Bible? When is that thought going to come into your mind? See, we're here for the ones that's thinking like that. That's who we're here for.
It's they go to the eloquent ones. You know, the scriptures talk about in the Apocrypha how the eloquent man is known. Basically, an eloquent man is known, basically known near and far about his words, but you know, a wise man is despised, basically.
Right. Because we're not politically correct. And we're not going to tell them what they want to hear. We're going to tell them what the Lord said. You know, we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to cater to your feelings. We're just going to give you straight and skinny, man. Like, look, this is what's about to happen. A bunch of people about to die. A lot of people might will starve to death. A lot of people going to come up against each other, home invasions, killing each other.
Cannibalism coming back in a major way.
You know, people going to freeze to death. People are not going to get their medicine. And a lot of elderly are going to die because they're not going to get their medicine. A lot of young babies are going to die because they're not going to have access to medicine. Okay? Hospitals may not have power to keep going. Okay? Supplies and things of that nature. The logistics might get fucked up. Because all these things are still, the trade wars, all that's still going on, man. You know?
Because if I could add to you too, you got a lot of, especially in the nation of Israel, northern and southern kingdom, you got a lot of women giving birth to like, what's it called? Basically when you're born. Yeah, premature. You got women giving a lot of birth to premature babies. And basically their premature baby is not fully developed in the womb. So when they come out with certain
Birth
deformities and disabilities, which cause them to have to take medicine and have to need different things that Esau, different tools, like I don't know, like, you know, if you got polio or some shit and you gotta get one of the braces for your legs or something like that. Bro, the Lord not gonna reverence people like that in that day. This is Ezekiel 9:4. It says the Lord's gonna slay utterly young and old, man.
That movie, Leave the World Behind. Was that it? Where the dude, he was going to his neighbor for medicine. He pulled the shotgun on him and said, "Don't take another step forward." He like, "Man, my son is having an allergic reaction. He's gonna die. He can't breathe." This and that. He said, he cocked that bitch again and said, "I don't give a fuck." You know what I'm saying?
Ain't gonna be no mercy in that.
Nah.
That ain't gonna be. Hey, you see a nigga with polio, it ain't gonna be food,
Right, bro. They gonna run up in that, and they gonna be in a wheelchair. They gonna run up in his pockets.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm handicapped. Fuck
gonna
you,
take
nigga.
the wheelchair.
Matter of fact, get off the wheelchair. Nigga,
Yeah.
nigga gonna be dragging himself like a vegetable on the ground, like
Man,
a caterpillar
bro.
or some shit, man.
And you ain't even mentioned about preemie babies. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says that that women shall bring forth untimely
Children.
You know what I'm saying? But the elects, you know what I'm saying, children is gonna you know what I'm saying, make it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else gonna be fainting, you know what I'm saying, running around with their chicken like a chicken with their head cut off, man. You know? I'm gonna finish this up real quick. This is Isaiah 30 and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Right. You gonna be running to Donald Trump for security. This devil, what did he do for you his last term?
For real.
Well, it's funny you just said the last term, because remember the last term, the last term there was another government shutdown from Donald Trump. And you had the Eve, she was like, she got on TV crying, talking about, "Mr. President, please open the government." You don't remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember that.
I can feel you on it because the same thing happened when he was about to get elected. It was back in November. This stupid ass nigger, he come on fucking Fox News with a red hat on and a suit. And he said, "Tom Homan, please come to Chicago and bring ICE. Come and get these migrants. We're suffering." And I had to do a video on that nigga because I told him, I was like, "Tom Homan coming to fuck you up." And that's what's happening now. You ask what you get, Jake.
Right.
You ask for Tom Homan. Now Tom Homan fucking every fucking Negro city up right now, but y'all wanted that. You Jake thought, "Oh, I'm gonna flip and not be a Democrat, and I'm gonna be a Republican now." Get played. And I saw that video that Apostle Tahar did when he was showing those. He didn't even do it. Wasn't even no lesson. He showed these Manassites, these Cubans, singing with red hats on in Spanish, talking about, "We voted for Donald Trump." Now he's shipping y'all asses out of here, bro. You see that? It said, the scriptures say, "Don't trust your enemy, man."
Yep, that's it.
And the Lord is choosing their delusion, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Done. Isaiah 30 and verse 2, it says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
Right, because our people always got counsel from the Lord before they did anything. That's all in the scriptures. You know, any type of decision concerning warfare, any type of decision concerning family matters, concerning maritable issues, anything, we always got counsel from the Lord, and via the prophets. That was the counsel of the Lord, the prophets, man. So now our people is going down to Egypt, and that wasn't even the breakdown that the Lord gave, man. We supposed to be serving in captivity here, but returning back to the Lord while we're doing it, because it's going to come a point in time where the oppressor is no longer going to take care of the people. So during that time, if you don't have the Lord, you're going to be asked out, man.
Yep.
And they still look at the so-called white man who died.
Yep.
And that's why they still in denial that this is really happening, that this man is really about to flip the script on your ass. He about to show you who he really is. He about to show you how he really feel about you. And he's not God. He's not the only begotten son. He's none of these things. He's the devil. And he about to show you that he's the devil. Okay.
Yeah, he even put on Twitter. I don't know. That nigga got a demon about Twitter. For some reason, he be on Twitter a lot, but he put on something on Twitter about basically he's not the king. You know, basically going into all them No Kings protests that that's been going on, and with Trump, and his response is basically he's not a king, this, that, and the third. You know, he's basically trying to shy away from, you know, him being the face of everything going down in America, man. But that's his lot. You know, the Lord is putting the spirit on him to issue forth all of these different decrees, man, to bring this place down.
That's the same thing that happened with Nero. You know what I'm saying? He ended up, you know what I'm saying, unaliving himself. You know what I mean? Trying to hide, you know what I mean?
Right.
You keep going.
Kind, yep. It says, continuing on in verse 2, it says, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Verse 3, it says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Right. So now our people is ashamed, they confused, because they voted for Trump, Latinos for Trump, and now Trump is deporting, indiscriminately deporting Latinos. They don't even care if you were a citizen or not. They breaking all type of what you would think is American laws as far as discrimination, as far as you know, because they can basically. They can stop you based upon the way you speak. They could detain you based upon the way that you speak. You know what I'm saying? They'll ask you a series of questions, and if you got a thick accent, they'll take you in. You see, they don't care if you're a citizen or not. Why you talk like that, nigga? How long you been here? You ain't learn English, speak English good, nigga? Come on, you coming with me.
Hey, it was a video on TikTok, and I guess it was a skit. It was a Mexican. It's great, and you know, he was inside his house and shit, and you know, somebody was knocking on the door, and it was ICE, and he was posing questions, you know, to see if he's an American and shit. One of the questions that he asked, how do you say Walmart? You know, Northern Kingdom, he like, Walmart. They busted the door, took his ass, reported his ass, bro.
Well, that's in the scriptures. I think it's in the book of Judges.
Oh yeah.
Where the one tribe, they was asking the people that passed through the land to say a certain word, and if they said a certain word, they slew them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's in the book of Judges, though.
Yeah,
No, it's not Absalom. It's in the book of Judges. But yeah, you know, you got it though. So that's see, the strategy that Esau come with. Esau know the scriptures, man. So a lot of stuff that he do, he get it from the scriptures.
Yeah.
Just like how ancient Egypt became great. It said when the money failed, the people came begging for a solution. They said you could enslave me. So Esau know we gotta take their resources, we gotta take their property. They have to own nothing, and they'll accept the MOTB. You know, that's what it's all about. You know. Anything else?
Yeah. Just real quick, the brother could grab Acts 2:41. Because Ashiar made mention earlier, you know, how we gonna have to come together, man. And another sole point is this, and Paul made mention of this repeated times to the churches, you know, that he was sent out to, that our love for one another shows and symbolizes the glory of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. And these people of the world, they see that, they don't like it, and they're jealous because they're locked out of it. All right, and they've been seeking that love their whole life, you know, and they know that these curses is upon them, and they can't escape it, man. All right, when they see us come together in the brotherly love we have, the way we treat each other, okay, that's the curse. That's us exiting those curses, man. All right, and they want that and they desire that. So as these times get more intense and things get colder, you know, us coming together in the world getting more gritty, going against each other, you know, it's going to intensify with the persecution upon the prophets. Okay.
This is Acts chapter 2 and verse 41. It says, then they that gladly received his word were baptized.
Right, we gladly receiving the word now, man. To be baptized means to be submerged. Okay, but what are we being submerged in? We're being submerged in the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Holy Spirit. You know, not just water. So the Lord said, the days come where you should be baptized with fire and the Holy Spirit, man. And that's what the men of the Lord are doing by gladly receiving the word.
It says, in the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls.
And that was a whole church being built in a day, man. So that's another thing. The Lord is going to add more souls into the body during these times.
Yeah, because our word is gonna be fulfilled, man. You know, like we always talk about bad times, but when the bad times come, you're gonna look at us different. You're gonna look at us like we wasn't just babbling, we wasn't just spewing negativity, teaching hate. We was divinely inspired. That's how you're gonna look at it. You're gonna say, well, damn, I know somebody who kept saying that all these bad stuff was gonna happen. Word for word. They were saying it, word for word. You know? So when it comes, then they shall know that a prophet have been among them. And believers is gonna be added to the church because of that.
Yep.
Precept.
Go ahead, we can read it real quick.
Isaiah 65:13, because you're talking about, you know, the brothers just going into how we're going to come together. And a part of that is, you know, being able to help one another out, because the Lord, he said his servants is going to eat. And the way that's going to happen, it's going to be through divine intervention, but it's also going to be through brotherly love, brothers leaning on one another and helping each other out in truth and sincerity. You see, because we understand the scriptures. We're not going to have that malice in our heart. We're not going to have that evil eye towards one another. In fact, we're probably going to get closer because we understand the Lord is going to be looking down on it. He ain't going to help no nigga out. He going to help out true, sincere men. This is Isaiah 65:13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And the reason you're going to be ashamed is because you're going to realize, like the brother just said, a prophet was among you. You were warned and you didn't listen. And now you sitting out on the road like a little scallywag, right? You sitting out there wondering why I didn't listen to that brother in the garment. Why did I scoff at him? Why did I come on this comment board and make comments about some shit, about things I did not know nothing about? Salakia. But that's going to come to your demise now. But the Lord, he got us, man.
Yeah. And they're gonna be ashamed too, because like we mentioned the other precepts, they're gonna have to kill their best friend to eat. They're gonna have to murder their father or their children to eat. You know what I'm saying? And then they still gonna turn around and be hungry the next day. It's gonna be a great shame. It says they shall be weeping and gnashing the teeth, man. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna be a dark day, man. When the Lord really let these prophecies loose and allow that snowball effect to take place, man. You know.
I got one. Back that up.
We'll close that.
Job 5:22. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Right. So with all the stuff going on with the EBT thing, guess what? Then the Lord's still gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? You know, you had the guy talking about thank you Trump, because now the women about to start giving it up for some food.
Oh, Adrian Bowman?
Yeah.
If I can add to you too, we gonna be made more cold too, man. The prophets gonna be made more cold.
We cold now.
Exactly.
That's why they don't like it, because we so cold. We don't give a flying rat's ass, man.
You gotta be cold to laugh in
laugh
situations like that. You know what I'm saying?
When
we laughing
when we
now.
see videos on social media, what we do? We repost it laughing. That's what I do. I don't know. I repost that shit. I laugh. I let people know I'm laughing at this shit. I'm laughing at your calamity. Okay? Because look, the ones that is for is gonna be right here with me. You know what I'm saying? The ones that the Lord want, they're gonna be good, whether I laugh or not, nigga. Go ahead. That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, that's it. So Lord willing, this is edifying. We're gonna give all praise, honor, and all glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
giving us spirit to do this lesson. Lord willing, this edifying to remember the Lord's elect. Kwame Yashara Shalom.
That's right. All right. Hit them notes.
The notes out.
That's right.